top 5 predictions for 2023, Volume 2. Volume 2. I'm going to keep doing, well, I can probably do these until about Wednesday of next week, and then I got to let it go. Unless some bad things happen this weekend, and then I might have to change one. But number 5, Alabama will be good, but have lots of growing pains. They'll be really good, but this whole 3 quarterbacks, this is the first time they've gone into a year in a while without knowing who it's definitely going to be. They needed a reset at the skill positions last year. Their lines will still be really good. They'll still be a Nick Saban coach team, but I do think that you'll see them be, and you saw it a little bit last year, just be growing up a little bit. This is a transitional period for Alabama a little bit, as much as Saban will transition to things. But look, Kirby Smart has taken over the league. There are, Brian Kelly's in the league now. Tennessee, it's harder. When you are as successful as you have been, Hugh Freeze is back. All these things. When you are as successful as you have been, as Nick Saban has been, for as long as you have been, then everybody starts making hires to beat you specifically. Everyone who has been hired in the SEC since Nick Saban's been there has been hired to beat him. Nick Saban was hired to beat Urban Meyer. And then eventually that happened. Urban left, had health problems, and left. And then he went to Ohio State. And then what did the Big Ten do? The Big Ten hired a bunch of coaches to do what? Beat Urban Meyer. Now, they didn't really do that, but
they tried.
Urban Meyer wound up undoing his own situation there, but they're now hired to beat Nick Saban. When Mac Brown got hired at Texas, he was hired to beat Nebraska, and then they did that. And then when, then you had Bob Stoops coming in, you had all these things that were hired specifically to beat Mac Brown in Texas. Art Briles hired at Baylor. So that's going to have an effect on them, I think, long term.
I mean, the quarterback question is still, and then look at their safety play, which is Saban's position, that he coaches. Their safety play has been trending downwards over the last few years too. So it's really something to keep track of, and it's an interesting thing to watch out for in the SEC, because some people are still like, it's Saban, give me a reason not to trust him, and some people are rightfully looking at this year as there's some bigger question marks for Alabama.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, number 4. Sam Hartman sets the world on fire at Notre Dame. I know you're probably tired of me talking about Sam Hartman on this show today. If you're watching the whole time, I'm a huge Sam Hartman believer. I watched him at Wake Forest destroy most of the ACC. And if he didn't, he played in really good games against them. I think Notre Dame is going to have a fantastic 10-2 type year, if not better. I think Sam Hartman will be in the Heisman conversation for most of the year, if not wind up being a finalist. One, because he's the quarterback in Notre Dame. He's the best quarterback they've had there in a long time. And I know that, you can say well, he did this. And I think he's going to be fantastic there. He's going to raise the level of everybody around him. Notre Dame is going to be super fun to watch this year, because Wake freaking Forest was so fun to watch when he was there. Yep. And I have no love lost for them, especially when they beat my alma mater. But Wake Forest was fun to watch when he was there. Sam Hartman is the gamer's gamer. He'll throw less interceptions this year. He will look really good. I don't know if he's going to be an NFL quarterback one day. I know he'll get the opportunity, but this guy is fun to watch, and I think he's in it the whole year.
I completely agree. I do wonder what he's going to look like in a more pro-style offense. The long mesh at Wake Forest is one of my favorite things to watch, honestly. But so it'll be interesting to see him transition to that. And is it sad that even without him, I'd almost be like, okay, but Notre Dame was going to go 9-3, 10-2 anyway. I wonder how much of a difference he makes for this team, for this program. Do they make a bit of a breakthrough? Do they really push for that playoff spot because of him? If they do, I think a lot of people are going to look at it like that, like it's because of him. But I don't know. They've got a few big games on the schedule. Otherwise, I'm not convinced they should go worse than 9-3.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Number 3, Caleb Williams will not repeat as Heisman winner.
Bold.
It's
by
not,
bold, I mean not.
But there's a lot of columns today. I felt like this is about why he's the best shot. But Johnny didn't. Jameis didn't. Tebow didn't. A lot of people have not.
Yeah.
Come back and done it. It's really hard. I think it's part of this. You have a lot of a bullseye. And I think also voters, even if you have a great season, which Caleb is probably going to have, just want to vote for somebody else.
Yeah.
They just want to vote for somebody else. Although, of all those guys, he probably has the best opportunity to win it again because what's around him is about the same. Like, there's not been a drop-off that much. I mean, Jordan Addison's going to be, like, no matter who takes his place, bit of a drop-off. They're going to, because he was really, really great. But I think he'll have a lot of numbers. I just think there's going to be somebody out there who everybody turns to more, if for no other reason than they've also had a great season and
they're new. Like, yeah, he's really competing against himself, against what he did last year, and that's a crazy high bar to set.
Well, that's what undid all the rest of them, right? And in particularly Tebow, who the year after Florida still went to he won the Heisman Trophy. Florida won the national championship the year he didn't win the Heisman Trophy the year after, and it was because they were just, they were really great around Tebow, and he didn't have 29 or 30 whatever rushing touchdowns that next year because he didn't have to.
Yeah. I also wonder if the strength of quarterback play in the Pac-12 that we expect for this year will be an extra, he's not that much better than the rest of these guys in this league. I don't know if that could play into voters' minds, but.
Well, and again, if you take a couple more losses because of that, you don't know. I mean, there's a bullseye. Of course, nobody can be mad. The only teams that can legitimately be mad at everybody else for wrecking the conference are Oregon State and Wazoo. Yeah. Everyone else is going to probably be somewhere else. Obviously we'll find out about Stanford and Cal in the ACC here soon, but they're the only ones who can have that kind of thing that the Big 12 has with Texas and OU. They're the only ones who get to do that. Number 2, Wisconsin contends all season. Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, top 3 of the Big 10. I think Penn State could really take a huge step forward. But and I said early in the show, I think Michigan wins it all. But I think Wisconsin contends all season long. I think that Luke Fickell is a fantastic coach. Phil Longo gets that offense going pretty quickly. I think that a lot of teams that they play won't be used to it yet, and they'll be able to sneak up with some people. Plus, big Tanner Mordecai fan here, so
Waco Midway.
Yeah, I gotta love Tanner. So I think it's going to work out well for them up there. I do think though that what will get them is the 3 teams above them. And I don't know Wisconsin's schedule off the top of my head. I should have it up.
They've got Ohio State.
They've got Ohio State.
I think they dodge the other 2, maybe. Definitely, I don't remember them on Penn State's schedule.
Yeah, let me just verify this, and I'll tell you here.
My pause about Wisconsin is just it's still year 1, still going a different direction, completely new offense. Different style offense, honestly, because you're used to them running behind the biggest farm boys you've ever found.
They play at Wazoo in week 2.
Yep.
Purdue, there's 2, that's gonna be 2 games, wide open offenses. Now that Graham Harrell's at Purdue,
it's at Camp Randall. Purdue's not winning that, isn't it?
No. Oh, it's at Purdue. At Purdue,
there's actually a prayer.
Yeah. So they host Ohio State, but they do not see Penn State or Michigan until what would be the Big Ten championship game, if that's how it shakes out. So
yeah, it's still year 1. They're going to contend in the Big Ten West the whole year.
Yeah,
definitively. But contend for the Big Ten, contend for, I don't know, possibly getting into that playoff conversation. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think that's what you were saying, but yeah.
Yeah. Number 1. Because advertising works, and it works also when your player is really good, which he is, and he's going to be exciting. He's going to be on a team that's going to be on TV a bunch. He's going to be on a team that gets a lot of attention outside of it because it's their last year in a conference. But Bo Nix, Heisman finalist.
Bodacious.
There's already the big ads going up all over the place. We saw that in New York. Bo Nix, Heisman finalist. Mark it down.
Mark it down?
Mark it down. Bo Nix, Heisman finalist.
How many things are more certain to you?
Many more things. But I do think Bo Nix is going to be a Heisman finalist. He runs the ball really well, too. So he has that element to his game. He's going to be in big games against other big-time quarterbacks like Penix and Caleb Williams and all that stuff.
And those Pac-12 defenses are really tough.
Yeah, again, he's going to be in a good league that's not going to, outside of Utah's not going to hit you that hard most of the time.
Yeah.
So I think Washington will be a little bit better on defense this year. But I do think you're not going to have that. You have teams that are again more spread out, more big offenses. He's going to have big numbers. He's going to get a lot of attention. He's at Nike University.
Yeah. See, I'm sitting over here thinking he's like my third quarterback out of the Pac-12. In terms of the Heisman race, like I've got Williams and Penix over him.
Yeah,
but maybe that's just me.
Yeah. By the way, Katie Rader, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Absolutely appreciate.